From the years 1997 to 2001, my father was a military man. He battled his way through basic training and passed all of his lessons at the Defense Language Institute in Monterey, California. Eventually, he was deployed with his newlywed to South Korea, where he was to act as a linguist. My father could tell me terrific tales of his time in China's shadow. However, there is one Army truism that has stuck with me all of my life. He explained to me that it is easy to fall asleep anywhere and hard to stay awake everywhere. He told me that in order to stay awake during his dual duties, he would have to place himself in uncomfortable positions. He even told me a story about how some of his battle buddies would fill their mouths with water before class. As the words of their lieutenant lulled them off to sleep, their jaws would go slack, the water would slip down their collars, and they would be shocked awake. Whatever it took, you had to guarantee your alertness. You had to be uncomfortable to do your job. I have taken this tiny tablet of knowledge with me when dealing with many aspects of my life. I work at a donut shop called Wyman Spud Nuts. My duties here are to mix, cut, cook, frost, and serve. I often find myself slipping off into an endless donut hole. I can feel my brain sinking into the bubbles of the boiling oil, my vision melting like glaze over the fried dough. It is at these moments when I make my way to the back kitchen, turn the water to ice cold or volcano hot, and plunge my hands in. My immediate reaction is to recoil. However, this determination to flee can be transformed into something else. Alertness. Clarity hits my mind the moment the water hits my hands. This discomfort is something I use to my advantage instead of trying to avoid. Discomfort is something we are taught with a negative connotation. Rather, it is a tool that should be valued for its practical purposes. But can harnessing a bit of discomfort change your life? Let me offer an analogy. A high school cross-country race is one of the most wretched forms of child abuse. The only reason it is not illegal is because the victims volunteer themselves. I will paint for you the setting. Hundreds of people are milling about a golf course on a sunny day. Lines have been chalked on the ground. Mothers wear cameras around their necks, and coaches hand out ID numbers to the runners. Everything appears calm, quiet, comfortable. But what you don't see is the mayhem in the runner's mind. Inside his cranium is a jumble of endorphins, intensity, vulgarity, and fear. This is you, the moment you burn the map and escape your comfort. The task ahead is new. It's risky. There is every opportunity to fail your coach, shame your parents, and embarrass yourself. This terror eats you alive all the way through warm-ups. Your mind is fogged with fear as you stretch. Your coach's pep talk only mixes in with your agitation. Finally, the time for the race has come. You walk up to the starting line even though your soul is tugging you back towards your comfort zone. All the runners line up. The official states the rules. You hear one last squeal of encouragement from your little brother, then ready, set, bang! Clarity hits. The fear that fogged your mind fades into a stampede of acne, body odor, and desperation. It doesn't get any easier or harder than this. You've already broken away from the pack and immersed yourself in the uncomfortable. You are now invested in your discomfort. You have spent your time enduring pain. Let your discomfort be a constant reminder of what you now have to lose by not accomplishing your goal. Let failure become unfathomable and you will finish. But that's not to say you won't face any more hardship. After about a mile into the race, adrenaline wears off. You start to become conscious of your breathing, of the burn in your legs, and of the distance before you. Settle in. It is about to get miserable. It is important in these moments to find an anchor in the real world to drag yourself out of your suffering. For me, it is often my cross-country coach. Rarely will I look up during a race and not see Coach Peter 100 yards down the course. He's always screaming, "You need to be here! You need to be here!" while pointing to a group of opposing runners. This passes as encouragement in the cross-country world. Remember what I said about child abuse? Encouragement makes it so much easier to invite pain into your life. Someone else believing in you while you suffer through your discomfort makes the goal seem more accessible. As a runner, I know there's no other way to deal with this encouragement than by doing the Louis Armstrong exhale, relaxing my shoulders, and focusing my mind on my goal. Unfortunately, we aren't out of the depths yet. The race is not over until the finish line flows underneath your feet. In between you and that great glory is nothing but dust, distance, and discomfort. At this point, you must remind yourself why you started. What forced you up to the starting line with all those other terrified runners? What forced you to choke down the pleadings of your fearful soul? What forced you to pursue this discomfort? Quite simply, you did. In the end, the race is for you. The finish line is something you wanted, so you literally chased it. Forget about your competitors, your coach, your family, your fear, and remember that every single step you took on your own. You can see the finish line now and the pain vanishes. Your hands go numb and flashes pop in and out of your vision like falling stars. Your legs sag and your chest groans, but you keep driving your knees toward the finish line. One more step, and you collapse. I wish I could say the discomfort is over. However, after a race, you still have to recuperate. Your body convulses. It is entirely possible to fall unconscious. And for the next 2 days, every muscle in your body will strain with every step. This pain is something you would have acknowledged before the race. Instead, your mind has built a barrier against the exhaustion. Your discomfort has become your reality. Fireworks of ecstasy and joy will erupt within you. As a runner, I can personally attest to how quickly all of my shadowed doubts fade with the light of finishing a race. I start each race as a terrified little boy, a boy that fears pain, accepts good enough, and has no desire. But by the end, I swallowed my fear and took that first step across the starting line. I acknowledged what I had to lose and refused to give it up. I endured the discomfort, and I did it for myself. Whether you are serving your country in Korea, running a race against savage teenagers, simply trying to stay sane while frying donuts, or dealing with whatever matters in your life, discomfort will prove to be your greatest ally. So I encourage you, go, be uncomfortable,